Four levels of testing. There are four levels of testing that are done to test software. Each level or step is performed one by one following a sequence in order to test it orderly and accurately before releasing it into the market. I have discussed these levels previously in the V model of SDLC, which you may check back again. Now we'll discuss these in some more detail. The testing levels are unit testing or component testing, integration testing, system testing, and acceptance testing. As you see in the image that I made to show the levels of testing that takes place in software testing life cycle are: the first level starts from the unit testing, which is considered the most minor testing level. Then comes the integration testing, then system testing, and lastly the acceptance testing. Unit testing. As you see, there are four levels of testing in the image shown on the side, and it mentions that the first testing that takes place during the software testing life cycle is the unit testing or component testing. Unit testing, which is considered the most minor testing level, is mostly done during the coding and developing phase by the developer itself. Also, unit testing could be done by the senior quality tester who has experience in white box testing, as it requires knowledge about the coding part related to the software product that is being developed. Unit testing or component testing. In unit testing, the developer tests each part of the module separately. That means every unit or module that has been built by the developer during the coding and development phase is being tested individually as a single component. Integration testing. Second comes the integration testing, which is done by the testers and the developers in the testing phase of SDLC. Integration testing. This is the second level of testing where the interactions between each modules are being tested. Also, you may say each module is integrated, which means combined together with the other module in order to check if they perform fine or not without changing their actual functionality or the expected results. Integration testing is of two types: component integration and system integration. Component integration, which means integration between components or modules, which is done mostly by the developers, whereas system integration focuses on the whole systems integration, where the back end, front end, and database are all together being tested by the testers. Third comes the system testing, which is the major testing part that is done by the tester or a team of testers in the testing phase of SDLC. In the third level of testing, that is system testing, the complete system is being tested. The end to end part of the system is being tested, which includes functional and non functional parts to check the behavior and the functionality of the system as a whole. This part of testing also checks if the system is working as expected or not, and successfully finds and fixes any defects that are found before being delivered to the customer to give their final conclusion. Acceptance testing. Fourth comes acceptance testing, where the customer or the stakeholders check the developed product in order to find any defect or errors that needed to be fixed. They check whether the system as whole works as expected or not, and whether the product is acceptable or not. And this is done in the maintenance phase. This part of testing is done by the users like stakeholders and customers. After the product is tested completely in the system check level, it is delivered to the customer to test its performance and to know whether it's working as expected or not. It is the customer who accepts the work or the product, and so it is called acceptance testing. Acceptance testing is of two types: alpha and beta testing. In alpha testing, the customers are offered to test in the office premises, and in the beta testing, customers are required to test the applications on their sites at their homes. Like, share, and subscribe. Press the bell icon to get notified of my new uploads. Thank you for watching.